JSE Safex style options, a great choice.
Welcome back to Wealth and Wisdom. Tonight we're talking about IDX, international derivatives, and their potential to be a very, very useful tool in generating wealth for you and your family. Now, why should you look at offshore investments? Partially it's because the investment universe in South Africa is pretty small. There are whole sectors we just don't really have exposure to. Some of the leading tech companies, things like Apple or Google, Microsoft, there are no local real equivalents to these world-leading companies. Other sectors we don't have, oil and gas. We've got a bit of an exposure there you can get through Sasol, but things like Exxon, Shell, huge part of the investing world we just don't have exposure to. The other issue is medical companies. We don't have any major medical companies. So you want Merck, GlaxoSmithKline, all these companies, if you want to get exposure, IDX could be a very good way to do it. To beat the market in South Africa is pretty tough. We've got all these hedge funds, we've got asset managers, we've got hundreds of the guys, professional managers out there chasing after essentially the same limited universe of about 80 stocks. If we go outside those 80 stocks, you're getting to very small, quite illiquid numbers. Professional investors, even hedge funds, are going to struggle to get in and out of positions in those stocks outside those sort of top 80. So you've got hundreds of guys chasing outperformance in 80 stocks. If you start using this IDX, thousands of different international products, stocks, financial instruments become available to you. Your opportunity set grows exponentially. There's so many more things you can actually do. And with that, you can definitely beat the market. There are returns out there, there are stocks out there that you can definitely beat any potential return just if you only stay within the South African market. This is also a great hedge against inflation and against the rand weakening because you've got exposure to world-class international companies. And as the rand weakens, the price of these things will go up because they're priced in rand. So it just stays. Boom, 8 rand to 9 rand. The share stays at 100. It goes from 800 rand to 900 rand. You're just totally covered against any rand weakness. Now, returns and opportunities. Remember I talked about how you can gear yourself up. If you want to become rich, there are the two ways you do it. Steadily compounding, day in, day out, long time, lengthy work. That's how the one way you start doing it. The other step, you have to at some stage leverage your idea. You have to borrow money. You have to make a plan and gear yourself up. So I remember early 2009, global markets had collapsed in 2008. Everyone was completely miserable. In the news, Barclays had a lower market cap than its wholly owned subsidiary. Well, not wholly owned, but they control ABSA. ABSA had a bigger market cap than its parent company, Barclays, which is kind of ludicrous if you think about it, because they could sell their stake in ABSA and then they could return that money to shareholders. So it just seems a little bit bizarre that they're valuing it almost the rest of Barclays at like a negative value, like a very negative value. So we had this trading challenge, and I'm talking to retail investors down on the floor of the JSE. And I said to this guy, you know, we've just listed, someone made a request for us to list Barclays. And I think it's ridiculous because I've been reading in the press, it's worth less than a company it owns the whole of. That says to us, it's ridiculously undervalued. It's offering a lot of leverage because it's been a fairly unvolatile stock in the past. It's at such a low price. You can get more than 10 times gearing on this. So in a virtual competition, diversification is for wusses. In real life, it's a good thing. In a virtual competition, you want to put your eggs into one or two baskets and really, really let it ride. Get that maximum risk exposure. Now, at the time, Barclays had a smaller market cap than its wholly owned subsidiary. So it was a good bet. What happened was the price in rands, this is sort of March, went from about 9 rand. It was 8 rand 64 on the 9th of March. On the 6th of April, it was 23 rand 30. Tripled. The stock basically tripled. You know, 270% returns. 10 times geared, which is, we were even offering more than 10 times. It was something like 12 to 15 times was what the exchange was offering there. 10,000 rand could have become 270,000 rand. Now, I advised this guy who won the competition. I said to him, I think this is what you do. He made 270% profit on this thing. Won the competition by miles. The next closest oak was miles and miles away. Won 10,000 rand of Satrix unit trusts. Now, I was all mouth. talked to the guy. I knew the trade was a good trade. Did I follow through and actually phone my broker and do it? No, I didn't. So I really regret that. You know, they say in life the things you regret are the things you didn't do, not the things you do. I mean, even when you do things and they're silly, you don't regret having done them. The ones you really regret is this. What if I could have got some friends together and put some money together and done this? The returns were ridiculous, and that was one of those opportunities that comes along once every 10 years. That's where you're very advantaged. As a retail investor, you've got time. Wait for that fat pitch. IDX is one of the things that will help you to see a lot more pitches. Wait for that fat pitch and really ride it to the top. Why do you want to do it through IDX? Regulated by the JSE. There are no costs of setting up another brokerage account. You don't have to do due diligence on a foreign broker. You can do it through here. It's fairly cheap. It's well regulated. There's no exchange control for hedge funds, companies, and individuals. So to find out more about it, you can go to the JSE's webpage, www.jse.co.za, IDX, or you can email us at idx@jse.co.za. This is just a whole new world of investment opportunities. Go to the web, email us, find out more about how you can see more fat pitches and eventually have a chance to do one of those, gearing yourself up and building your wealth trades. Thanks very much for watching Wealth and Wisdom.
Wealth and Wisdom was brought to you by the Johannesburg Stock Exchange.